not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Thursday, May 21st, 2026. It is already almost June. We have 10 days left. We're at Memorial Day weekend already. Incredible. As always, The Monty Show presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. And I say this every day, and it's funny. Yesterday, this show tends to manifest itself out in real life, whether it be cherry bombs or insurance conversations. I was talking to somebody yesterday who got into a car accident, and their insurance company's like, oh, yeah, we'll, get back to you. This cat is literally paid insurance for over 25 years, never had an accident, could not get his insurance agent to call him back, could not get an insurance adjuster to call him back. Somebody hit his car in a parking lot, you wouldn't call him back. That's the issue with your insurance company. You're an afterthought. You're a number on some very large spreadsheet. Don't go through that. Let the advocates get the attention of your insurance company. And the best part is you never have to reach into your pocket to get it done. No. The advocates have fought insurance for years and years and years, and they have beat the insurance companies. Let them do it for you at theadvocates.com, where you get clear, risk-free advice. And again, you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. All right. Welcome into the show. I want to find something else to talk about today. We're going to talk about the college football playoff because that's what we're here to do. But I would rather break down the script structure of Mary Poppins. Perhaps we could talk about cashmere versus a polycotton blend.
Script writers did a great job with that one.
Anything that we can do not to talk about socialism in college football, because that's what we're going to talk about today. And I guess we should be surprised by nothing anymore, by nothing. And I have been sitting here telling you for how long that the only reason people are advocating for a 2014 playoff is because they're not very good. It's as simple as that. You're not deep. You don't have quality teams. You don't have quality depth of teams. Because if you had quality depth and your conference was deep, you would not be advocating to let everybody and their brother in. Because let's remember what a 2014 playoff does. It puts 3 and 4 lost teams into the college football playoff. 3 and 4 lost teams will be competing for a college football playoff. I'd also remind you, when a scumbag like Clay Travis is saying, oh, put everybody in, more teams in is better, you know exactly what you should do. The opposite.
Nice.
The opposite. Oh, everybody should get in. They shouldn't get in. Playing for a national championship should be one of the most exclusive things that you ever partake in. It just should not be something that is in question. The team that wins the national championship is the best team in college football. They had the most difficult road. 2 years ago when Ohio State won the national championship, was there any question at all that Ohio State was the best team in the country? No. And they were. Was there any question at all that Jarhead and the Hoosiers were the best team in college football this year? No. Buzzcut had it all working. It's a Kurt Cignetti reference.
Google me.
All he does is shave his head. But the point is, he does that too. You knew the last 2 years who the best team in college football was. Why are we playing with the system? Leave it alone. Oh, that's right, because you guys aren't making enough money. That you want to make more. That's you want to make more money. Because that's all this is. There's no and before we get into this, and we're going to hear from Ed Orgeron today and Lane Kiffin today and all of it. But let's just be very clear. If you're the worm in the dirt that's advocating for 24 teams, it's because your team's not good enough to get in. You're hoping that you can lose 4 games and not have it impact your ability to play for a college football championship, which should never, ever happen. Never, ever should a team that's lost 4 games in a season play for a college football championship. Not a thing. Oh, it is now because we're doing socialism now. Right? That's what we do. Now, I'm bitter as hell over it.
Yeah, I mean, you should be. I mean, it's ruining the sport. There's no question about it. I mean, what's worse for sports? You know, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander flopping his ass the whole game last night, or college football expanding to 24 teams and all the crappy teams get in. I mean, I don't know what's worse. And I just think it's what we do in this world now. You know, it's, oh, you're not good enough. Well, here's a handout. You're unable to do X, Y, and Z. Well, yeah, here's still the blue ribbon, right? Here's still the sticker of approval. Here's still the reward, even though you didn't do the thing to get the reward, right? I mean, that's what we do. I mean, you know, my entire generation is defined by here's a handout here, you know, oh man, you didn't get into the playoffs as a 10-year-old on your soccer team, but everyone got blue ribbons anyway. Like that's what it is. I mean, we've been doing this for ages. So I think that you know, college football is the problem is that there's no way to hurt anyone's feelings in college football in the meeting rooms, in the boardrooms.
Oh, well, there is a way. Certainly there is a way to hurt people's feelings, right? You know how to do that. You give a commencement speech.
Danny went undrafted out of Texas Tech. He was cut by 3 NFL teams. He wasn't the tallest, he wasn't the fastest, but he had a huge heart. And he played his ass off in the biggest moments. And I hope you guys find colleagues like Danny. Having business school friends are great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you need a kid from a glorified community college who can bail your ass out of any jam.
Bro, he's so casual with it too. He's so casual with it.
Oh my God. How you guys? That is elite level trolling.
And by the way, everyone clapped after that reference too.
That Tom Brady took a shot, absolutely took a shot at Texas Tech, who is in favor of socialism, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That Tom Brady took a shot like that. I know a lot of Lubbockites listen to the show. Is that what they call them? I watch Landman and I still don't know what you call somebody from West Texas. But the point is that Tom Brady threw a haymaker at Cody Campbell is the greatest thing I've heard in several weeks, months, and years.
That's actually good for sports. That's more the energy we need.
Yes. Would you agree? Is socialism sensationalism? Is that over the top? This is welfare for college football. And I want to play this bite from Joel Klatt because I think it truly is. I'm not a big Joel Klatt fan, but I was listening to his show in the background the other day when he said this, and I think it's absolutely true.
We just have inflation in college football. Too much money chasing too few goods. There's too many teams investing at a high level, chasing too few spots of success. And so what does that do? What does inflation do? And we've seen it in our country, right? I mean, I was an economics major, so forgive me for, economics analogy. It's hollowed out the middle class. It's much more difficult to define yourself as successful in the middle class because why? Because too many dollars are chasing too few goods. You're spending a lot more at the grocery store for the exact same bag of groceries. Well, that's exactly what's going on now in the middle class, upper middle class in college football. So who am I talking about? It's Iowa. It's Michigan State. It's South Carolina. It could be Tennessee at times. It can be a lot of programs. It can be Kansas State. It can be Iowa State. It can be Utah. It can be BYU. There are so many programs that used to have the ability to get to an upper tier bowl game, and that tier has been hollowed out.
Right? Because it's people who will say, well, we just want to hop in the family truckster and go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl and make memories for me and the family. And yippity skippity, bud. BYU, they lost 4 games. They're in the college football playoff. I was so worried when we lost to Poughkeepsie State. Oh, man. And then Notre Dame dodged us, and they were scared of us in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I didn't think we'd ever have another big game. That's what this is. That's what it is. It is your crappy ass Perdon't can't beat anybody, but they still get into the college football playoff. Tell me Joel Klatt's wrong, because I would love to hear the argument about how
he's not wrong. He's not. He's not wrong. I think that Joel. I mean, it's a good analogy. I think inflation is something that we're all just as people, keen on right now, and I think it's a good analogy. I think that college football is seeing this sort of transition to where, all the bottom feeders are making the case and playing the card that it's terrible for the system for the SEC and the Big Ten to create their own thing or to do anything other than carry the load for everybody. And I think that that's what's difficult, because at a certain point in history in college football, everybody was on a level playing field, right? Now that was probably 20, 25 years ago, a long time ago, predating the CFP era, certainly. But I think that the issue becomes when you have this college football playoff era that started, what was it, back in 2012, I think, 2013. Yeah. You have this situation where the elites start to separate and widen that gap. And I think it inevitably gets to a point where they're so far ahead now that, this socialism concept has to come into play, because whether they like it or not, you need the numbers for scheduling that the Big 12 and the ACC provide, right? I mean, it's great that Miami is getting to the CFP with regularity, but the ACC is pretty much an ass conference other than that. Like, that's just what we've seen the last several years. So as far as I'm concerned, there's a conversation between who's the best who's the best conference in college football. But I think it's pretty definitive that the ACC and the Big 12 are just so far behind now that they're never going to be able to catch up, which is why we're getting this push for 24 teams. And it's why everybody and their mom is like, well, why would it be bad to have more teams? Why do you want to exclude people? Like, they're turning it into a negative thing instead of saying, well, the whole concept of the college football playoff is, like you said, to find the best team in college football, not to get everybody paid. And I think that's sort of the issue. And that's why I think we're getting so much smoke around like TV partners and what schools and when would this happen. And like, there's just all these like details and different angles of the conversation that everyone's obsessed on. But I still think that there's a chance that you're going to get big fight from Greg, for sure.
For instance, socialism. Do you really want college football playoff games on Amazon Prime?
No.
I was talking to our guy Marcus yesterday, and he was telling me, because I've been trying to understand how much inventory is ESPN willing to give up, because there's been this big conversation around, well, ESPN's going to cough up billions more dollars. That's why we need to go to 24 teams. And I truly think that is the motivation. I think the dregs of society in college football want more TV money. And they believe if 24 teams, if we double the amount of teams, well, obviously, Monty, that's double the amount of TV games. No lies detected. But here's the problem. ESPN's not willing to pay for that. ESPN is not willing to pay for crappy G6 team to play crappy P4 team in a game that's going to draw 3,000 viewers. It's probably more than 3,000. But the point is, ESPN's not willing to pay for that. And it makes it very difficult to justify to Disney shareholders to pay billions of dollars for games that not a lot of people are interested in. And I think, for instance, Tennessee and Ohio State, I'm paying for that game. I am. But you look at any of the early round games, you look at JMU games or Boise games, or I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. And it's why I think people like Amazon will be able and will be given a chance to buy into the college football playoff, because I don't believe that the money at ESPN, and I know it's shocking, and this is, listen, you guys.
10-2 now. 10-2 now.
And you should probably sit down. ESPN's money isn't endless. Oh my, I know. I know it's tough to hear. ESPN isn't just going to keep handing you welfare checks, because and that's the theme today, socialism.
This is fucking America.
They're not just going to keep handing you preloaded, snap cards so that you can feed the kids. Because that's all this is, 24 teams. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing from Tony Petitti about how we're going to do this or we're not. Oh, okay, great. The other day when Tony Petitti's like, well, we're going to 24 teams, or we'll stay at 12.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Well, man, thanks for clarifying, Tone. Come on. Mm-hmm. This is so ridiculous. The bottom line for me is simple. ESPN is not going to continue to just hand you your socialism. You're going to have to get, my opinion is it will be Amazon, because Marcus and I were talking about it, and he's directly involved in a lot of these conversations. He knows that Amazon is going to aggressively pursue that.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at all the involvement with folks like Amazon in sports right now. I mean, you've got Amazon, you've got Netflix, obviously. Not that Apple TV is a player in this conversation, but if you're looking at total, like if you're looking at all the streaming outlets that are involved, obviously Apple TV has some sports, and I think what's difficult is that when you start getting into those more obscure channels, like I know that Peacock is like, has a great library of content and like they have a good offering, but I had an awful experience with Peacock. Like if a JMU game was on Peacock, let's say, I probably wouldn't be watching it, honestly.
What do you mean you had an awful experience?
Well, like with the Olympics and like with just how well it worked or didn't work. I mean, I couldn't even load the Olympics on an NBC branded product. Like, how does that happen, dude? How does that?
Rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. And trust me, as someone who streams every day and like in games and does a lot of stuff with the internet, I promise you it wasn't my internet. Like, I can assure you of that. So I sit here and the concept of Amazon Prime is going to have early round college football coverage. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it'll get viewership. They've got an NFL game, but that doesn't mean that you're going to overcome. See, what's not going to happen is fans aren't going to tune in just because it's Amazon Prime if it's a crappy ass game. It's the same bar of success that we've had on the show for years. If you're winning, that means you're a good team. If you're losing, that means you're a bad team. So a 3-loss team in the first round of the CFP playing another 3-loss team. I mean, unless there's like some serious storylines around that, unless we've got like, if you harken back to like, the Johnny Manziels of the world being on a crappy football team and giving us a reason to watch, like I'm probably not going to. And that's what concerns me is, expand, give everyone an opportunity. Oh, but Amazon Prime wasn't happy with the viewership because it's a crappy ass game.
Right.
And then they're going to complain. And so I don't know, man. I think that it's a dangerous game to play. It's a dangerous game to play. And you're asking middle of the road people to do higher up things, and that's not how that works, man.
Well, and I think for Amazon it makes a lot of financial sense. I mean, they've seen that Thursday Night Football brings people to the TV. I think in their dabbling in other sports, they've seen that live action sports brings people to TV. You look at the Netflix numbers off of what was a horrendous fight, whatever that was, Ronda Rousey and what's her name? Gina Carano. Great.
We all knew what it was.
All enjoy it. You guys are really, you're spending your life's work watching that. You're spending valuable hours of your life that you'll never get back. You burn testosterone picking up the remote to watch that fight.
Yeah, but think of it this way, dude. I didn't watch the fight. I saw obviously the end result on Twitter.
Are you lying to me? Are you lying to me?
I'm actually
You're
not.
telling me you didn't. You're
determined that was a lie.
You didn't Diddy party that fight.
It's a wrong question.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on Diddy parties or what went on. I wouldn't even go as far as to call that a fight. No. I would go as far as to call that socialism in fighting, because we all knew what that was. We all knew that Gina Carano hadn't fought in 17 years, and Ronda Rousey is a little past it now. So she's just going to roll out there. She's going to do her little judo toss, arm bar, be done inside of 20 seconds.
So you did watch. So you did watch the fight.
No, I didn't. I saw the highlight on Twitter.
Oh,
I did not watch the fight on Netflix. Absolutely not. But again, I think
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Anything worth watching is not, sports-wise, is not on Netflix. I can assure you of
wow.
that. And the
so
problem is,
do you hate Netflix?
I don't hate Netflix generally speaking, but everybody and their mom wants to get in on live sports. And just because you have live sports doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden just a premier, player in the space of live sports. Like, again, it's all these streaming outlets who traditionally weren't involved in sports trying to get their piece of the pie because that's what people are interested in. And Amazon Prime is just the one of the latest suitors to do that. Amazon Prime was not a sports outlet, dude. You guys tried to do sports talk and you flamed out. So then you pivoted and you audible to live action sports, and Thursday Night Football, I'm guessing, is profitable for you on some level. But being that the matchups are so ass regularly, I'm not even watching it every week during the season. It's only if we have a reasonable matchup. And that's why I say that same concept for the NFL is going to be the same concept for college football. Why? Because the viewer doesn't change. That's the point, is that college football fan is also NFL fan on some level. And if the matchup sucks, people are not going to watch. That's why is the UFC just so hell-bent on bringing Conor McGregor back and doing all of these harkening back fights. Oh man, let's bring back the golden era. Let's bring back all that energy, because people like that, man. They're entertained by it, so they watch.
But
and that's my concern.
But why are we trying to do Notre Dame and BYU?
Yeah, people will watch.
And why is Notre Dame and Southern Cal trying to get back on the schedule? Because they heard from their alumni bases that they want that game. People will pay for content that monetizes. That, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? I mean, you look at the way you use YouTube Premium, and I don't know how you guys watch YouTube with ads. I have no idea. But YouTube Premium is absolutely worth every penny because it takes the ads out, right? So my point is, when we look at that stuff, you'll pay for what you want to watch. I'm not paying, and frankly, I'm an Amazon Prime member. I watch a lot on Amazon Prime dramatically, and I do watch Thursday Night Football. But I'm not paying to watch any extra tier of content that includes a G6 team against a P4 in a playoff game. I know how that game's going to end. Mm-hmm. Notre Dame's going to lose. I know I've seen this movie before.
That's the untrained eye.
Anyway, the point is, I don't want to see games on Amazon Prime. I don't. It's the only streamer I'd want to see games on, because I'm with you. Peacock lost me, the cock lost me over the fact that you can't stream the Olympics. That was a disaster. If it's not Hank Voight, I'm probably not going to the Peacock.
Yeah, and you know what? I can get Hank Voight on YouTube TV through their library, so I'm definitely not going to Peacock.
This whole thing to me, 24 teams is a joke. I'm just going to continue to say this. I will continue to go over and over this. I believe that 24 teams is socialism for the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the ACC. They are all, and all three of them, what do they have in common? All three of them are out loudly saying, what did Brett Yormark say the other day? Hey, more teams in, sign me up.
But how could you blame? I don't blame Brett. Like, I don't blame Brett and Jim Phillips in this conversation. What else would you expect them to say? Would you expect them to go the direction that limits their conference given the situation? And I do agree that they obviously, as the commissioners of their respective conferences, bear some responsibility for their conferences not having the success they need to have on the football field. But I think we all know that it's not just up to them, right? It's not like they're the head coach. It's not like they're directly involved in the team's recruiting efforts or financials or whatever it might be. So their whole goal in life is just to get the conference in the best position possible. So I don't even really, for me, I don't have a problem with the Big 12 and the ACC being in favor of the 24, because what else would they say? How could they not be in favor of it, given the situation? But the problem I have is the Big 10. And the reason I have an issue with the Big 10 has nothing to do with their postseason success. And I've said this a couple of times, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's important. It's not about the fact that you guys have had more success the last 5 years than the SEC has as far as national championships. That's not the point. The point is that the path that your teams take to get to that same point is far easier. There's less attrition on the injury report. There's just less challenges and hurdles than the SEC has to face. And I think it's rich that the Big Ten agree. The Big Ten looks at this and goes, oh, well, man, dude, 24 teams. I mean, we got to have Nebraska in. We got to have these different teams in. Illinois got to get in last year.
That's exactly what it is.
But on the same time they're saying that, it's like, dude, they didn't get in because they play a soft-ass schedule and they didn't win the games that mattered most. So why does Big Ten fan look at Notre Dame and go, oh, well, dude, Notre Dame's got to join the Big Ten, but you're doing the same thing in the Big Ten, scheduling-wise, that Notre Dame does. Bro, it's hey, 2 games a year, and 100%. That's it. And if you lose those games, you're not in. But the difference is that the Big Ten's got 3 teams every year that are national championship good, and they've made a living off of that. So that's my problem for the Big Ten in this conversation. To me, they are the chief criminal in this conversation. You're agree. Doing this for the wrong reason, bro.
I agree. And I will go back and say, this is the argument where we end up, where we say, well, they won the national championship back-to-back years. They're the best conference. They're not the best conference. They're not. And I'll go to what Lane Kiffin said on Netflix. Who knew that? Again,
are you watching Talking Head show on Netflix before we get into Lane? Because I'm not. I'm not. I didn't even know, to be honest with you, dude, I didn't even know that phony guy who claimed to be from Chicago, who's actually not from Chicago, he's from Boston, somehow migrated over to Netflix. Was unaware of that.
No, had no clue. But here's Lane Kiffin talking about the college football playoff.
I think it's set up in a good way for the top heavy teams there right now. I think now, and it's going to get better. We're going to 9 games, and our bottom is harder than theirs. Okay, and our bottom stadiums, are harder than theirs. So we're going to beat each other up more, and they're going to sit up there and have 2-3 hard games a year, and so their top teams and our top teams, when they go to the playoffs, okay, they're in better shape. Mm-hmm. That stuff matters. It's why, I've always been a proponent to stay at 8 games and let us make our own, whoever we want to play in non-conference. Don't tell us who we have to play.
Right.
And we would do the model of the last place I was just at. Look at we went 20-0 in non-conference regular season games at Ole Miss, 20-0. We didn't play any of them big openers. This place went in a 4-year span, lost 3 or 4 openers.
Yeah, they played hard games at the openers.
So you play, that's so great, whatever. Well, you don't get rewarded for it because it's not worth it enough in this race. But also, that schedule where half your games you don't have to get up for, it's a mental toll that you got to play when you're getting up for. Plus, also, man, your good players are out by the fourth quarter, so your play count at the end of the year is less. One of the really good teams there rested a couple of their good players in games in conference games at the end of the year.
How long have I been saying that? And it's why, and listen, he's sexy as hell for a lot of reasons, but it's why Lane Kiffin is, I call him the sex machine for a reason, because he says what needs to be said, right? The scheduling model in the Big Ten is welfare. Don't play outside of your 2-3 teams. Don't play tough games. Don't go play big early season. No. That's not going to get you there. That's not going to get you those snap benefits, Monty.
No.
And that's not your key to the college football playoff. Because remember, right now, a 2-loss team is on the bubble. With 12 in, a 2-loss team's on the bubble. At 24, a 2-loss team's almost guaranteed to be in.
2-loss teams guaranteed to be in. 4-loss teams are on the bubble. And it's double it. It's that simple. There's twice as many teams that like that's what I'm saying, man.
But tell me he's okay. Wait. Tell me he's wrong. Though the bottom half of the SEC is much better than the bottom half of the Big Ten. Those road games at the bottom half of the SEC are much more difficult than the bottom half. Going to Purdue, per sucks is not exactly challenging. Going to Minnesota, going to Camp Randall, which used to be intimidating, it's not intimidating anymore.
Rutgers,
not intimidating anymore. Come on, this is the problem I have with it. We don't tell the truth. We don't tell the truth. And Lane Kiffin is doing America a service. He is making the truth great again. And anyway, my point is Lane Kiffin.
Quite enough. We get it.
We get it. Lane Kiffin is telling the truth. It just doesn't matter because these greedy SOBs that run college football want more money. They want socialism for TCU and Baylor and Oak State and, UCF and Minnesota and Purdue and
glorified community colleges like Texas Tech.
The dregs at the bottom of the ACC. That's all this is. Tom Dean. SEC should expand to include Okie, Light, and TCU so other SEC teams can pick up some easy wins.
See what he did there? He just said Okie, Light, and TCU suck. Hey, James, take notes.
And then Poke Traveling says, hey, Tom Dean, our last P4 win was actually against the SEC. Yeah, back in 1968. I remember that. You guys remember that back in 68? We were all sitting around the Edsel.
I wasn't even boiling in the bag. Sorry, dude.
Right. We piled into the Edsel, in our overalls after we shucked some corn and, and stuff. Anyway, yeah. Who remembers their last win period? I don't, It is what it is, Poke also says you call people from West Texas poor, Monty. Well,
okay. Well, I didn't take it. Listen, I didn't make it personal on that level, but I'm more than happy to run out the glorified community college garbage.
Scott says the college playoff should stay at 12 teams and remove the G6 from participating. Speak, please,
Agreed.
please.
Yeah.
Get a huge soapbox with a megaphone. No G6 teams in the playoff, Monty. And just say it repeatedly. Over and over and over again. Ryan Duffy, new judge and catching a stray from Tom Brady at the Georgetown commencement speech. Not a great week for us Red Raiders.
Well,
does Brendan Sorsby ever play college football again? No. It's over. And if you didn't hear, the Texas Tech alum who was seen doing the pew pew with the Texas Tech Red Raider.
Facial recognition.
Yeah, he recused himself.
Oh.
A judge with ethics and integrity?
Oh.
Recused himself. And
but
now
Brendan, what happened to paying judges off and getting your way and, getting back on the field?
Yeah. Media sensation. Oh, boy. Politicians get health care for life, so socialism is already alive and well in America. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Different show, dude.
Cherry Bomb Thursday, dude.
Yeah, how are we doing today? We're doing better today.
Bro, again, what did I tell you yesterday? So we found out in live action here on the show yesterday that cherries are a natural diuretic. And pilage was had.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
Uh-huh.
I think 3 times during the show I offloaded. Dude, when the show ended, the show actually ended early yesterday because I could not.
You weren't going to make it, which is fine.
Dude, and I grabbed my phone and I went and sat on the throne and just unloaded. I mean, dude. And then that was the end of it. And that's the beautiful part about it is you wake up today feeling great. I had the best night of sleep I've had in a month last night. And I woke up 1 pound from my goal weight because you just unload all the dregs of your intestines when you eat a pound of cherries in 2.5 days.
Dude.
Who knew that cherries did that to you?
That's a wild ass story, dude. I mean, honestly, and you've been on a bit of a heater if we zoom out a little bit with stuff like this random ass, like, hey, didn't know this would happen. And then it happened, like the Wagyu incident. Now the cherries, like it's
a Wagyu incident. What do you mean Wagyu?
The steak incident in Newport. At Mastros. There was
that was 5 years ago, bud.
Yeah, but I know. But like, if you look at the run you've been on, there's just been these isolated.
Let's not
incidents.
talk about runs, okay? Can we use other verbiage, please? Thank you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just
I had a run-in with some dry aged steak at the Ocean Club in Newport, and that absolutely stripped my intestines for a couple of days. Then there was. Well, clearly not. Then there was the garlic drumsticks from Costco.
Yeah. Damn, I forgot about that.
Now it's cherries.
You filled your quota for the year, dude. You're in a good place.
Dude. You know, they're fine. They're all out. Once you get it out, you can eat the cherries and it will absolutely wreck you. But once it's out, and again, what was it? Yesterday morning was about an hour and a half, 2 hours of just absolute destruction intestinally. And I'm much better. Hello, Cryptic. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the nightmare. Good to see you. Ryan Duffy, Brent Musburger, you are looking live from Monty's toilet. Not today. Not today, Duff. No. Jay McClenahan, hello. The Frog Father's in today. Frog, good to see you. Yes, lots of golf this weekend. Going over to Bremerton to play golf. I'm going to drag my wife back to the golf course. And we'll see if she murders me. I'm not. My promise this weekend is to be patient. That's not going to happen.
That's what fucking ticks me to fuck off.
Dude, 6-hour rounds of golf should be a felony. I'm just telling you. They should be a felony. Matt Ritson, hello. 6-hour rounds of golf.
I'll try to stay calm and not curse.
It's outrageous. Oh, look. Oak State fan James. I agree with Monty 100%. Let's not talk about runs.
Okay, well, the day you stop eating at Buc-ee's, we can stop talking about runs for you, sir.
They didn't beat Michigan for changing. Okay. You know. Bro, James, it was at home versus Arkansas in 2024. What kind of OSU fan are you, bro? He's not. You know, FTR charting with cherries. Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
The last P4 win for Oak State was Texas A&M. What's the Texas Wolf versus?
See, again, this is the problem. This is the problem right here, dude. This type of material. Bowl games don't matter. That's not a P4 win, dude. Sorry, not a P4 win.
Mike Smith, who's not a member. Shock that a judge actually recuses himself. This is becoming a rarity anymore. Yes, it is. 21. I mean, all college football just wants more money. Hence the past decade of SEC Big Ten poaching teams from other conferences. But you understand that if the Pac-12 had not been completely incompetent, this would have never happened.
Facts.
USC would still be in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 would still be one of the dominant football conferences in the country. But they're completely incompetent. You understand that? Like, it's crazy to me that we want to blame. What would you have done if you were the Big Ten in the SEC and USC's on the phone begging for a spot in your conference?
Nah, I'm busy, dude. I don't want to talk to Carol Folt. Nah, I don't need to talk to her, bro. No.
And you're going to bring UCLA with you, so we get USC and UCLA, and we own Southern California. Nah, it's not a call I want to take. You would have taken the call. You absolutely would have taken the call. Stop. Like,
oh, Texas and OU are on the phone and they want to join your conference? No, we don't want that. No, we don't. No, I don't. We don't want to see OU on the 2 beating the hell out of Michigan this past season. We don't need that.
No.
Come on, dude.
Nonsense.
We don't need all the arch drama in Texas and Ohio State from this past. We don't need that in our conference. Stop with this nonsense.
Yeah. Ken Maynor. Hello. Oh, do we? Kenneth. Just thank me now.
Yeah.
Just thank me now.
Because I didn't get into this thing for money.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was making less than 20 grand a year living in San Diego, California, living in a studio where, to be quite honest with you, I probably carried a Glock on my hip in and out of the apartment complex some nights.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't it wasn't exactly like I was living in the high rent district. You know what I mean? And so
a Glock on my hip most nights.
Bro, who is this guy? Like,
he's your buddy.
Brother, what are we doing?
You are shut up. Do not criticize oh my God.
Dude, I'm a Summerall guy. God. But I didn't need, oh yeah, dude, what I was making 20 bands a year at a glorified community college. And at that time, I didn't have a car and I had a Glock on my hip every night because I feared for my life as a white kid in the neighborhood. Like, come on, dude. Like we didn't, there are limits to things, bro. Can we have just a little more respect for the bottom end, dude? Please.
Now you're a bottom end guy all of a sudden.
Get your ass back in the tunnel, dapping up recruits, or take the cockneck approach and hype up the teammates. Like, give me more of that material. Not like weird ass stuff where you're shooting promo videos with an actual live gator on the field, or you doing interviews in your media room talking about having a Glock on your hip, dude. I don't need that.
Jake, they haven't earned it.
You gotta earn it. You gotta earn the logo, man. Like, we ain't earned it yet. We ain't earned a damn thing. Like, all we've got is our name. We're going to put our freaking name on every day. All right? And so to wear the Florida Gator logo, to wear the Gators across your helmet and script, or to wear the Gator head, man, you got to earn that.
That's what I'm talking about. Stay hard. Like, stay on that energy, bro. Don't give me this crap from 10 years ago.
What a scumbag, dude. Like, you're such a jackwagon for this take. You are such a Summerall apologist.
I am.
Oh, my God. Mama, he's not allowed. He's not. Look, Second Amendment has no place on this show.
I didn't get into this thing for money.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was making less than 20 grand a year living in San Diego, California, living in a studio where, to be quite honest with you, I probably carried a Glock on my hip in and out of the apartment complex some nights. Because it wasn't it wasn't exactly like I was living in the high rent district. You know what I mean? And so
couldn't afford La Jolla there, bud.
First of all, the other guy, this is the guy who did the Teresa interview. Brother, dude.
Yeah.
Help me.
You have a huge head, sir.
Dude. Yeah. I'm a Summerall guy. I love me some Summerall, but I just didn't appreciate this one.
Come on. You know. Are you going to show up and work tomorrow? Probably not.
What the hell kind of question is that? You already know the answer. Idiots.
Ryan Duffy, Pac-12 didn't want a community college to come along with Texas and OU.
Yeah. It's true.
Bro, why do you say things that are indefensible?
Amendola. Danny went undrafted out of Texas Tech. He was cut by 3 NFL teams. He wasn't the tallest, he wasn't the fastest, but he had a huge heart. And he played his ass off in the biggest moments. And I hope you guys find colleagues like Danny. Having business school friends are great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you need a kid from a glorified community college who can bail your ass out of any jam.
Duffy, every time you go red ass, which pretty much is daily now on this show, I'm playing Tom Brady throwing
Duffy,
shot at
I'll add that. I'll add that as a drop if you're not careful, dude. I will have that every day at any time we want it if you keep referencing it.
Keep playing your games. Keep playing your games.
Yeah. You know.
How on earth did Texas Tech take a stray from Tom Brady at Georgetown? How does that even happen? What world do we live in? Is this just Texas Tech being now elevated into like the daily lexicon of college football?
Yeah, because they're a-holes, dude. You put yourself in this position. Like the way you've gone about it the last 6 months is terrible. And listen, I'll sit here and advocate for Texas Tech to represent the Big 12 along with BYU. Tell them blue in the face. The Big 12 is desperate. They need you. They don't have another choice. Okie Light is ass. TCU is ass. K-State's ass. Kansas is ass. Iowa State, ass. Baylor, ass. You need Texas Tech. Yet here we are talking about a, quote, glorified community college leading the Big 12. And then we're sitting here doing a show about socialism in college football, and somehow we're surprised. Like, dude, it all works together.
You can't make this up, friends. You just Tom Brady is a gem. Were you guys weirded out by his pleather leather thing on the runway? Was there? It felt awkward to me. Do we have a picture of that? We don't have a picture of that. But
we need to have a conversation at some point about all these celebrities, and you see it a lot on the women's side of the celebrity world. But Tom's done it as well, and there have been many other dudes that have done it, where they take all the fat out of their cheeks to get like this sort of very like V-shaped face. That's what had weirded me out. He's had that for a while. It's not like he did that for this event. But just the I don't know what it was about the camera setup or like how you mean
the biker motif? Was it the biker motif that made you uncomfortable?
No, dude. I just looked at it and I was like, dude, like he's obviously a good looking bro, but the cheek situation, like this picture, I don't mind. This looks fine to me. I don't even mind this. It's the really high.
What?
It's the really high res one that weirds me out.
You're fine with this picture.
Yeah, he's at a fashion show, dude. We see weird stuff like this all the time. Yeah.
So it's his face that you're struggling with.
It's the high-res face one where he's like glaring kind of that weirds me out because you see this, you see so much detail in his face. You're like, dude, like what happened to your face? Like it was going around Twitter earlier this week, I think on Monday or Tuesday.
What is wrong with you?
His rookie photo where his face is rounded when he's much younger.
Yeah.
And then this photo where he's clearly had work done and his face has changed so much. It just weirded me out a little bit. That's all. I'm not saying that he looks bad or anything. I just saw that and I was like, damn, dude, like this is like a trend in Hollywood now or with people with money.
Bro,
yeah.
He's wearing a biker outfit. It's strange.
Yeah, this one is where I was like, dude, like what happened to your cheeks, dude? Like
I think he's just very thin. What do you think he had like cheek implants?
I think he had work done. I think it's a common thing. You see it. Margot Robbie is one of the biggest case studies of it. If you look up like Margot Robbie before and after cheeks or whatever, something like that, you'll see
those are not the cheeks I'm interested in seeing on Margot Robbie.
I'm well aware of that, sir. But it's the same kind of deal that Tom's got working here, where they basically take the fat out of your face from your cheeks And you get this very like slimmed V-shaped looking face, the way Tom has it here. So I don't know, man. It's just this one weirded me out a little bit.
Yeah, I have no issue with it. I think Tommy, I think it just is what it is. I don't even care. People get so wrapped up in stuff, and I'm just not that guy. Did he have plastic surgery? Probably. I don't care.
Okay.
Why? Like, I think it's so strange that we're so obsessed. It is weird to me that he's wearing leather, bro. He's wearing a biker outfit, and it's weird. Where's the red ball, Tom? Like, have you not seen Pulp Fiction? Are you kidding me?
That hadn't really crossed my mind, but I guess it's a fair comp.
It's a fair comp? He's wearing leather.
Okay, you got to pull up a screenshot of what you're referencing, dude. You have to.
No, I don't. Do I have?
I'm just telling you, bro. If you're gonna pull out, hey, where's the red ball, Tom?
Gonna pull out,
like, dude, bro.
If you're gonna, dude, you need to watch. You need to stop.
Where's the red ball is the question of the week, dude. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to get stroked.
No, I am not putting that up. I'm not putting it. No. Dude, I'm traumatized doing a Google image search for that.
Juicy.
Oh, man, dude.
What is wrong with you? No. Why is he dressed in a trash bag? Well, it's a fashion show. You know, Mike Smith, the leather walking runway stuff, he was trying to look cool like Elvis, but was walking like he had a stick in his arse.
Right.
I thought he was fine. It's even more bizarre that Giselle feels she has to comment on it. That's what's weird to me. You cannot tell me that when she's getting armbarred by jiu-jitsu guy that she isn't thinking about Tommy.
When she's getting rolled around on the pad in her Muay Thai training, you know.
I'm telling you, you got to use MMA references. Armbar, rear naked. When she's getting rear naked choked out, stuff like that. That, you know, you got to use the figure four leg lock. When she's in a figure four leg lock with jiu-jitsu, bro, you can't tell me she's not thinking about Tommy.
Yeah, when she's inside a bro's triangle lock, you know. Yeah.
I'm just telling you. No, you're not. And stop saying you're a TCU fan for life, because you're not.
What do you mean TCU for life, bro?
It's so disgusting, James. You're an Oklahoma State fan. I'm just going to put this out there now. I'm not talking TCU football with you. I am not going to acknowledge your TCU football takes. They're terrible to begin with. I'm not going to acknowledge Harvard boy. I'm not going to acknowledge UConn offensive coordinator guy. Like, do you understand?
You hired a dude from UConn, dude.
You wanted Todd Monken to be the next head coach at Oak State. Look at what he's. Have you followed him at all with the Browns?
Bro missed the coach's photo. That's how bad he is.
Bro saying his quarterbacks are an embarrassment. Oh, Todd Monken for Oak State. Stop. TCU wins 10 or 11 this year. They won 9 last year, despite their head coach, not because of him. Could be. They're not winning 10 games. Tom Hanks is Zoolander and Magnum. Okay. You know. By the way, James, I was up at Ruby Memorial on the Morgantown campus and could see the stadium from the waiting room. Cool that the players come out to wave at the kids in the hospital. Okay. I like that. All Big 12 teams brought to you by James. Correct. Correct. Poke traveling, respect UConn as they will eventually be allowed into the mighty Pac-12.
No,
there you go.
dude, they're banging down the door of the Pac-12. Pac-12 fan told us that. Don't you remember?
They could add them anytime they want.
Anytime they want, dude.
You know, it is what it is. It just, to me,
Wait, what is Tom saying here at the bottom? Tom
think
Dean's most recent comment here. What is this?
you missed James' comment a few minutes ago saying Okie Light might go 6-6 if they were in the SEC.
You did not seriously say that, dude. Please tell me you did not seriously say that.
I don't believe he said that. James has said some stupid stuff on this show. He would not have said that.
Dude, he absolutely did say that. Are you serious? Bro, this is a new low even for me, even by my standards. This is a new low, James.
Where's the Donnie drop where he's talking about stupid people? Are you stupid? Are you stupid people?
I don't even know, like, what, dude, what am I supposed to do with this material, bro? How am I supposed to work with this? 5-7 or 6-6 if they're playing Mississippi State, Vandy, Kentucky, Florida, and A&M? No,
and
dude.
I would remind you, they haven't won a conference game in 2 years.
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
Like,
perfect sense.
Good Lord.
I think you say stuff like this just to troll people.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
Like, you say stuff like this to troll people. Right? And yeah, I agree with this. My mom could be the offensive coordinator and be 100 times better than stupid Gundy, who held the door for Oklahoma and James defended DUIs on this show. Right? Like, go run stairs. Stone Cold Summerall would body Oak State. Yeah, I would point out you're not beating Kentucky or Vandy or Florida.
No.
This has to, it's got to be, you've got to be trolling.
You must be.
This is one of the dumbest things that has ever been uttered. Like, we're all worse off for having read that comment.
Yes, we are all dumber for having read that comment. Agreed.
I didn't even believe you would have said that. You must have gotten bad sushi at Buc-ee's. That's all I can think is that there's a fungus on your brain. Because there is no chance that you believe. And now this is where James disappears for like 3 hours because he's charting.
Well, I was charting, Monty.
There's no chance you believe they would go 6-6. That's one of the dumbest things you would have ever said. You're trolling. Mm-hmm. You wanted attention, and you got it. Congratulations. The Hyenas ate well off of that. That's ridiculous. Laugh all you want about the OC, but UConn's offense was humming last year.
Okay, yeah, now, Mike, I know you're trolling, dude.
Under the bleachers, they were humming.
Come on.
Like, you can't believe for a second. There's no logic in the belief that Oklahoma State in the SEC would win 3 games. They would be Perdon't in the Big Ten. There's no way you don't believe that. James, first, Okie Light should play OU and see how that turns out. You should probably do that. James just set Monty like golf guy sets off 2 shakes. When you're playing golf, would you rather play alone or in somebody else's group?
If I'm by myself, would I rather play alone or with 3 randoms? Is what you're asking.
Or in a group of like 3 buddies came out to play and they added you as a 4th because you were single.
Probably rather play alone, honestly. Yeah, probably rather play alone. Yeah.
You'd probably rather play alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you hitting breakfast balls on like the 16th tee if you play alone?
Oh, you are for sure. 100%.
That's who you are.
Yeah. Every time I play alone, I usually play 2 or 3 shots, a shot. So like I'll have the first shot is the shot that I'm scoring on the card. Second and third shot are practice shots, assuming that I'm not holding anybody up or that the pace is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oak State would replace Mississippi State as the dregs of the SEC. Yes, they would. Eric Morris wants Bedlam back, so bring it on. Well, what about Drew, an esthetician? What does he want? Oak State hasn't been able to win in the Big 12, but they would win in the SEC. That's a funny take, James. That's my point, Jason. You have literally, it's been 2 years since you've won a conference game. Like, what are we doing?
And
James,
what was the year they played Texas in the Big 12 championship game? Was that 22? I think
something like that.
Like, it's
23?
been a couple of years, 22, 23. Yeah, like, so it's been a steep fall, dude. It's been a really steep and fast fall.
Yeah, it's a troll job, which is, I think a lot of what James says on the show is just him trolling for attention.
Maybe so.
You know, but hey, listen, I think it is. What do we think Oak State's going to do this year? Probably, 4 or 5 wins.
Yeah,
I would think. So
4 or 5 wins, but you'll be in 7-8 games.
And I could see them winning as many as 7 games. I think that much of Morrison and an esthetician maker.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the where is the ESPN's rankings post spring over under wins are right here. And where is, I'm going to say I think they're at 6 wins. No, 7 wins right there. OSU 7-5. I could absolutely see that. And then James will go back to having an Oklahoma State banner. So, you know what I'm saying? Jake, are you in agreement with any of this?
Yeah, I think that Oklahoma State top end is 7 wins. I think that I think Oklahoma State is this squad that obviously we're going to have to see what it looks like, right? I mean, obviously it's year one. This is exactly what I said about Summerall, Florida, or anyone else who's in year one. Lane Kiffin at LSU. You got to see what it looks like, but yeah. I would presume that they would be 5 at least. They could probably push to 7. They'll be middle of the road in the Big 12.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see some like K-State at 11-1. That feels aggressive. That feels very aggressive to me. Now, again, I could be wrong, which is, as you guys are all aware, it's never happened on this show. So, I could not cough my way through the show one day.
Right.
But the biggest surprise here is look at Utah.
Yeah, Utah is in a really precarious situation. I mean, obviously, having them at the 10-2 slot there, I think is not incorrect. I think if you look at their schedule, it does play out to be a pretty straightforward 10-2 situation. But I do think that everyone just presumes that Utah is going to be just fine. That it's going to be. I love when you talk Utah. I think that Morgan Scalley has to show that he can put together an offense. I don't have any doubts about the defense, man. The offense is the biggest question, as it's been for the last 15 years under Witt.
Man, I think I disagree with that take wholeheartedly. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I don't think the offense is going to struggle. I think if I look at, my belief is that Devin Dampier's a stud, and they're going to be good up front because they're always good up front. I think they're still elite defensively. There's no question about that. They have their depth on the defensive line is still amazing. But I think, do you have skill position players? No. That's the biggest thing. And obviously, we don't know what Morgan is as a head coach, but I don't think they're going to struggle as much offensively. I think Wayshawn Parker and Devin Dampier are elite talents. elite talents in the league on a whole. And I think Braden Pagan from Utah State is a huge addition. But you have a lot of proving to do. I think realistically, 10 wins is a lot. I think 9-3 is probably much. I'd be much more 7, 8, 9. 7's the bottom, 9's the top, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, maybe so.
I don't know. I mean, the league is wide open this year with Brendan Sorsby in that situation. I think the Big 12 is wide open. It's why I'm a little disappointed to see Rich Rod still at 3 wins. That'd be, I think, by any measure, Rich Rodriguez only winning 3 games in the Big 12 would be really disappointing. It'd be really, really disappointing.
Less than ideal.
Yeah, I think I'd be really surprised by that. So, but it is what it is. It's no different than Urban Meyer going on about how much he hates Michigan. I think this is one of the single greatest bites I've ever heard from Urban Meyer.
Head coach at Ohio State, and you're an Ohio guy, and you grew up in the 10-year war. The 7-0 is something that please don't touch that one, man. I mean, that's something I'll take with me the rest of my life. The hatred I had for that school. And notice I said had. I'm not in that chair anymore. When you're in that chair, because you feel it every day. And part of it was my fault. I mean, I made that whole facility all about that game. We never went more than a week without either talking about the game, practicing for the game. I would have Tim Hinton, one of our assistant coaches. That's all he would do. He'd watch film, and we'd be working on this game, and I'd always walk in and spend some time with him watching. I'm talking about September or even spring practice. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing?
He did the exact same thing to BYU when he was a head coach at Utah. He hated BYU. He used to put, do you guys understand? Urban Meyer used to put BYU logos in the urinals and on the floor so that his players were walking on it and dinkling on it. Like, how do you not? Look, he's a scumbag. Urban Meyer is never going to be anybody's All-American.
Agreed completely. Yeah. Couldn't be worse.
I probably don't want him mentoring my young boys. I want him coaching my football team. Because Urban Meyer, let me rephrase. I want him coaching my college football team. And he just lost a $30 million lawsuit against the Jaguars.
Yeah. Trying to get his money back,
Deservedly
after he was fired.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is just my opinion that that's what we need in college sports. We need Urban Meyer's heat. We need those two teams to hate each other. I need SC and Notre Dame. I need Miami and Florida and Miami and Florida State. I need big rivalries to matter. I need those games to be of consequence. And most times they're not. Most times they're not. And that's the disappointing part. Like button, you damn dirty casuals. Exactly. Oh, wow. Look at that. Our newest member. Let's run UNLV. Welcome to the membership.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
welcome.
you guys, have you hit the like button yet? You haven't. Come on. Hit the like button, you guys. We have close to 1,000 views today, and we have 18 likes. And I'm terrible at my job. I totally agree. I never say like button. Please hit the like button. It really makes a difference on the show when you guys hit the like button. So please hit the like button right here on the Monty Show as we talk all things college football. Let's run UNLV. Welcome to the membership. Thank you. Gainesville loves Urban. Yes. Well, why wouldn't you? Besides the fact that most of his Florida players are in jail, which is to say less than former Georgia players speeding.
But Monty, we don't need to talk about that. Come on.
Summerall versus Kirby. Stop it. Summerall hasn't won a thing.
No.
But let's go easy. let's go easy. Before we start putting, Summerall into the ethos of all SRT team, let's let him win a game first.
Yeah, did you guys see the news come out yesterday that Dodge and Ram released a new line of trucks for the street for their SRT division? And the first thing I thought of yesterday was, yeah, that's going to be in the news with Georgia, dude. They're calling it the Rumblebee. That's their new marketing slogan for these trucks.
And it actually looks really flip and fly, dude.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's just like, bro, I mean, at some point, that this thing is about to show up in the Georgia football player room. You know that they're going to be in those. But I think they look good. I definitely think they look good.
You think they look good? I think they look amazing.
Yeah.
It's not even a. I would own one if I was a hillbilly. But I don't drive it.
I was a hillbilly.
I did my nickel upstate driving a Tacoma. So
never again.
Never, ever again.
Ever.
Will I make that mistake? But, well, there's some limited circumstances where I would live that I might need to. But I think the Rumblebee looks great.
Yeah.
I think look at that thing, dude. Like that is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Absolutely. And if you can tune that to 1,000 horsepower, can you imagine what that thing could do? Like, because I think it's already like almost 800 horsepower, and they're saying that it'll be one of the most pliable motor packages that they've put out.
Yeah,
because they don't like
the tiers of it. They don't like you tuning. They don't like you tuning like scat packs, and they want you to pretty much ride their motor as they make it, or at least they used to. Now I think it's a Ram, not a Dodge. Now I think they understand that people want to be able to tune stuff. Yeah. And I do think it looks really good, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the 5.7 from Dodge. I think that's the Hemi is a really, really good motor, and you can get that in this truck. But the
5.7, no. Give me the 6.2 liter. The V8.
So
you got to have the V8.
No,
why would you buy this if you don't get the V8?
No, you do. They just offer it in different variants. So you can get it. The lowest trim of this is the 5.7 Hemi V8, but then you can get it in the 6.4 liter, the normal one, which is the Scat Pack. That's the middle tier, and then the top tier, which is this truck you have on the screen, is the supercharged 6.4.
You need the 6.2 liter V8. If you buy this, I swear to God, I will punch you in the face. If you roll into this thing, I'm not arguing
with you. I'm telling you, they're all V8s. They're just different variants.
No, they're not all V8s. A 5.7 liter is not a V8. Like, get out of here with that. There's not. Why would you do that? We're not doing truck talk. You give me, because I think the 6.2 liter V8's the Hellcat motor. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. You know way more about cars and trucks than I do.
No, it is. It is.
But why on earth would I buy this without the Hellcat motor in it? Well, and I don't even know what it MSRP's at. I can't remember, but
I don't know if they released that yet or not.
Dude,
I'm not sure.
You can't. No, please. Come on. Would love to see that with red instead of yellow. You'll probably be able to do that. Monty, the BMW guy talking hillbilly trucks. Come on. What's wrong with that? What's one got to do with the other? Hit the like button. Yes, please do. Stick with Beamer, Monty. I'm a huge Beamer guy. But if we're talking American muscle, there is nothing. Look, I watch Chicago PD. I know what a Hemi sounds like. Okay. Do you guys know they only drive Dodge SRTs on that? If you could make your, Jake, if you could make more noise lowering the blinds, that'd be great.
You're welcome.
The point is, it's a completely different feel. American muscle versus fuel injected twin turbo V6s from Beamer is a totally different thing. And I would still leave your stupid little Scat Pack pickup truck sitting at the line.
Yeah, it's not even a conversation.
You know, I watch Chicago PD. I do. Both Jake and Monty fighting the sun in the blinds. Yeah. Well, the problem is it's not always sunny in Seattle.
Yeah.
Have we talked about the World Cup in this town yet? Not to just
Well, how about the World Cup anywhere that's not booking hotels at any type of rate?
So I met with a realtor last night.
Mm-hmm. How'd that go for you?
I should probably save it for an hour from now, but it's very interesting what the World Cup is doing to property owners. My realtor here in Seattle, because we're looking to pick up investment properties, and my realtor is like, yeah, I'm leaving the city for the summer because of the World Cup. I'm renting my places out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess he owns 3 properties here.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to just rent them out. I think Seattle is going to be an absolute disaster zone this summer. I'm not at all excited that the World Cup's coming. The construction that's happening on the streets, I love all the infrastructure improvements that things like the World Cup bring to you. Like, this city is one of the biggest Lime scooter cities in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I've said, I live in downtown Seattle, so we pretty much walk everywhere. They're making these little parking stalls now for Lime scooters because of the World Cup, and there's so many of them on the street. And what's amazing is it's good for the city, but they're only doing it because the World Cup's coming. And Seattle is going to be one of the showcase cities for the World Cup. And I think it's going to be a disaster zone. And I have a lot of trepidation about what this town's going to be like all summer long.
Yeah, you should. You should. I think events like the World Cup are it's going to be an adventure, dude. That's a global sporting event. You have no idea who's coming into your town, dude. You have no idea. And I think I don't know. I've just never been. You've always been the soccer guy on the show. I'm not a huge soccer guy, but I think that the idea that the World Cup is struggling to book hotels in the U.S. is not at all surprising, even a little bit. I mean, it's just not.
Are you looking forward to it in any way, shape, or form?
Not even a little bit. No,
I would agree with that. And did you guys see ticket prices have bottomed out?
Mm-hmm.
Hotel bookings, Airbnb bookings, non-existent. It's really strange, and I think it's because people are scared to come here.
Yep.
So Joey says, I watch Cops reruns from the 80s. The Caprice Classic cop cars are still stellar. Yeah, the Palm Beach Cops videos, amazing. Hell, the Tesla base can leave most cars at the quarter mile. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, the Plaids, yes. Teslas are not fast. Just your garden variety Tesla is not fast. Poke traveling, biggest cherry show ever. No parking allowed at stadiums in the United States, where we drive everywhere. Yeah. Don't get me started. I live 20 minutes from MetLife. You think you're in for it. I took 2 weeks off EMS so I don't have to deal with any of it. Dude, Muldoon.
Smart man.
1, thank you for your service, but 2, smart man. For sure. We are all dumber for having read that. We award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul. There you go. It's not going to be a disaster because nobody's coming. I think that might be true. Do you guys buy into that people from other countries don't want to come to the United States right now?
I do. Absolutely, I do.
And do you think that the World Cup will suffer because of that?
Yes. Yes, I do. Soccer is not even close to top class in our country. It's not something that we're interested in or we desire. And I think the World Cup is pointed at an international crowd, which generally speaking, I don't have any problem with. Like, it's a global game. There's a reason it's a global game.
Right.
But I just think that the idea that you think that Europeans or whoever is going to come to our country to watch soccer, you're out of your damn mind, dude. Nobody's doing that.
I am very concerned about it. I think it is very concerned is probably a stretch. I think not having the Mexicans come and support their clubs and their players and the Mexican community is so passionate and so good for soccer. Not having the Mexicans supporting their clubs is really, really bad. In my opinion, I think it's really bad for soccer. Not even just the Mexicans, but if you think about Ecuadorians, Guatemalans, like you think about Central American soccer fans and Latino soccer fans in general, you really need them because they bring energy and atmosphere and dollars into your communities. And I just don't think, why would you, if you're a Mexican soccer fan, are you coming to the US? Probably not. New Jersey Transit, $150 train ticket to MetLife Stadium. I saw some of the gouging. I don't think so. I think they will go to Mexico and Canada because it's a North. For those of you who don't know, the World Cup is being hosted by North America. I don't necessarily believe like this is the Iranian thing where the Iranians wanted to play their World Cup matches in Mexico and not the US. I don't know, man. I don't think do you guys think millions of fans will pour into the United States to watch soccer?
No. I don't. Why would they? Why would they? What incentive do they have?
Don't necessarily think they do. I don't think you should shop around. The hotel, Seattle's such a good city, you guys. There is this stigma out there, and I think it's what we do. There is this stigma out there that Seattle's hellscape or whatever Donnie says about Seattle and Portland, it's just not true. He says the same thing about San Francisco. It's just not true. Like it is, Los Angeles is fantastic. Are they expensive? Yes. Can most people afford to live here? No. Can I afford to live here? Not really. Talking to my realtor last night, my biggest concern? I don't believe that I'll be able to buy a property because my plan is buy a property, live in it for 18 months, and then rent it out so that I can buy it as my primary residence, get a better rate on it. All of the financing and funding is much better when it's your primary. You live in it. Yeah, I think you have to live in it for a year or 2 years. Then you rent it out. But you know what the issue is? The mortgage on a $850,000 house. What is that, 5 Gs? You're not renting. Are you renting? It better be 3 bedrooms minimum. Are you renting a 3-bedroom house for $5,000? That's hard money to get. And eventually, I think we're starting to see we're at the top of the tipping point on mortgages now. We better hope. PNW loves them some football. Yes, they do. The world hates us right now, even though it used to be our friends. Well, but this is the truth. I think I read that Canada visits to the U.S. is down 45%. It is. Oklahoma State fan James. I think some people will come, but it won't do as well as predicted, and they won't have the World Cup here again. Well, I think that's strong. Marcus makes a great point. Those of us in the TV world are excited for the World Cup because it's going to do banging numbers. Nobody's coming to buy tickets. I agree.
Facts.
The very fact that we are seeing TV people excited about low ticket sales for the World Cup, I think it's a great point. It's a very good point. And I think it'll do huge numbers on TV. I don't think in person it will do huge numbers. Even Mexican-American citizens may not go to the games in their community because of the stupid threats of having ICE there. Yeah, we'll see. Canadian visitors in Arizona are way down. I don't blame them. They are way down. I heard that about snow. I was talking to a golf guy the other week who said this was one of the worst winters Arizona's had in the golf industry. Things you don't think about. Arizona's golf industry struggled this winter because of the lack of people coming. Now, one of the things you got to consider is we've had a mild winter in a lot of North America. But even still, like one of the biggest migration routes in the winter is Calgary to Scottsdale. That made Jake and I untowards amount of money, like tens of thousands of dollars in money we made on that when we lived in Scottsdale. Hell, millions of dollars at that point. Calgary to Scottsdale this year was down 40-something%. And that's just Calgary. So, yeah, it's rough. It's not ideal. I think demand is very, very high, but was immediately chopped at the knees when scalpers and transit authority got involved. I don't think that's the main driver of why it's low. And I'm not trying to get into politics, man, but that's not the main one. I am looking forward to the disaster that is the new grass and lack of curtains at the Death Star here in DFW. What is he doing?
Bro will never learn his lesson with that, dude. Ever.
What are you doing?
Screwing your wide receivers in the end zone again? Like, I don't know how you have an indoor stadium and you don't put curtains on the windows, dude. Like, how does that happen?
You know how it happens? I don't know how it happens.
Jerry's going to Jerry. That's how.
Yeah, Marcus is exactly right. Fans always want their sport. They just don't want their sport where it's being played. Yeah, 100%. Could not agree more.
So they take the old iPhone out, they open YouTube TV, and they pull out Fox.
Yeah. Mexicans won't come to the United States because they play their games in Mexico. Well, you should check what the bracket looks like. Check what the bracket looks like. I love Portland and San Francisco. San Francisco's a great town. It really is. Delaric, not millions, but maybe a million. Okay. World Cup. You see what FIFA had to do to the Chiefs Stadium in Kansas City. Had to take out seats to widen the field to make it up to soccer standard size. Millions of dollars in renovations.
They signed up for it.
All the stadiums had to be made over. Look at what they did in DFW, Duffy.
Yeah.
You had to raise the event floor at Jarrah World.
Well, here's what's really rich too. The idea that the Chiefs are doing that to their stadium while also moving stadium sites, I think is incredible. You know, like you're talking about, you know, the location where their building is currently that's just not where they're going to be, but they're still investing in this. So I'm telling you, it's not a chore for them. They're investing in it. The problem will be when their building's empty and there's a soccer game happening and they're not able to pay for all the renovations from profit. They have to pay for that just out of their pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's tough. And you look at just looking at the teams, obviously the U.S. plays in the U.S. Seattle, June 19th is when it opens. So we're less than a month away now.
Yeah.
Then it's Los Angeles, Brazil and Morocco play in New York, New Jersey on June 13th. You look at I mean, they're big names. I think Germany's playing in Houston. I mean, the Saudis against Uruguay is in Miami. Spain plays in Atlanta. Iran and New Zealand play in Los Angeles. Like Belgium plays in Seattle on June 15th. Scotland and Brazil in Miami on June 24th. Like, these are huge games, dude.
Yeah.
Huge games. And I'm pretty sure I want to say even like the round of 32 is in the United States. So, and isn't the final at MetLife? I'm pretty sure the final is at MetLife. So, yeah, I would say you're gonna have to listen. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, you guys, but at some point you're gonna have to figure out that, yeah, it's in New Jersey. It's in New Jersey in July 19th, 2 months from yesterday, is when the final is done. So I'm going to say if the Mexicans want to win a World Cup, they got to go to New Jersey. So Brazil will show up. They always show up. Neymar's coming. Yeah, how about Neymar sobbing about being named to the team? People coming for the World Cup be like Towley going to Washington, D.C. Well, you're not wrong. Muldoon, your mayor said Seattle doesn't need millionaires or big business. That always ends well. No, it doesn't. She's a scumbag and should be replaced. She should be impeached. We have a terrible mayor in Seattle. Terrible. U.S. team needs to at least make a knockout round for people here to care. Totally agree. Totally agree. Brandon Butler, hello. No one wants to come to the U.S. right now. I have family who have restaurants in Park City. Bad snow and current climate. No one is traveling here. It's brutal.
Yep.
The travel and entertainment industries, Park City. I know that I was reading something from Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Scottsdale, like all of the golf destinations. I get a lot of golf news sent to me. They all had down winter seasons because the winter season just came to an end. They all had down winter seasons. Even spring training had a terrible spring training. Terrible spring training. Attendance at spring training this year was not ideal.
Yeah.
So I agree, Brandon. If you think it's just scalpers when it comes to international tourists who are rich enough to be able to come here, then you're not paying attention or you're in denial. Truth. Canadian visitors to Vegas are down. Vegas seems to be taking a beating no matter what. It's wild to me. Didn't FIFA put a new real grass playing surface in Cowboy Stadium and at SoFi too? Everywhere. They only make the women's soccer teams play on turf. AstroTurf, you know. All but one stadium had to remove all advertising that wasn't a World Cup sponsor. Correct. Got nothing but love for the PNW. Lived in Redmond for a decade at Seattle's absolute peak in the late 80s through the 90s. Truth. I'm thrilled the Sonics are coming back. Cannot wait. FIFA tourney in the U.S. is going to be a joke. I hope there are empty seats and viewership is down. Wow.
We get it. You're bitter.
Wow. Cryptic Warden going to Florida this summer with the husband and his family. Ooh. Family vacation. Those never end well. I don't know that I could, even if I duct tape my wife's hands and ankles and put her in a suitcase, I don't think she'd go to Florida.
Come on, dude.
I honestly don't think my wife will ever step foot in the state of Florida.
Yeah, Mrs. Monty's not a big Florida person.
Not at all. Not at all. A lot of FIFA fans are looking at Vancouver, Seattle, and Mexico for tickets. Yeah, well, don't say that. I'm already nervous. Yeah, you're getting divorced.
What are you nervous for, though, bro? What's the problem? Give us some background.
Prenup?
Yeah,
prenup?
What's the deal?
Did you get a prenup? Yeah, what are you nervous about?
Yeah, what are you nervous about?
I'm curious about that. Vegas is pricing itself to death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vegas has to learn how to get younger, dude. They're playing to the wrong crowd. You can't keep playing to baby boomers and Gen X and think that you're going to continue to thrive.
Hey.
You got to get to millennials and Gen Z.
No, you don't. Do you guys understand? Do you understand what group of scumbags millennials are? Bye. Like, do you understand? We need you guys so desperately. And I swear to God, if millennials don't vote, you know, staycation in Cave Creek. Yep. Florida in the summer equals swamp ass.
Yep.
It's human. Okay, putting me on blast. I'm not putting you on blast.
Well, listen, curious. Dude, you opened the can of worms. Don't blame us, dude. You're the one who said you were nervous for the family trip. So now you have to pontificate about that.
And here it is. So his family does have a little bit of money, more money. I am a man of color. He is white. I'm worried about tension.
Oh.
Jesus, dude.
Did you marry into The Sopranos?
What is this, Succession? Like, what are we doing here, dude?
God, do you remember that Sopranos episode where Meadow brought a black man home?
Yes.
And oh my God.
Tony wasn't having that.
The heinous words that Tony said to that poor kid. I mean, okay. I want to point out, that his family has shown me nothing but love and respect. But his grandfather, for example, made it very clear how he felt about us. That's tough, dude. Old school. Well, first of all, hello, you're gay. So you're not going to fit in with old white guys.
What's up, big bro?
You know. And then you're a mixed race gay couple. I'm going to say there could be some tension there.
Strength and honor.
You know, your husband's going to have to defend you at all turns. God, I can't wait to hear that story. How awkward would it be if grandpa's like lobbing racial slurs across the vacation dinner table?
Dude, grandpa's sitting there in his crusty ass old sweater with an Ole Miss hat on and is like, hey, dude, get the hell out of here.
Hey, man, your boy going to play for the Rebs, right? Nah, fam. Nah, fam. Nah. I talked to Lane Kiffin. I know what it is. Fact is, World Cup tickets were cheaper than the Messi game in SLC. That is sad commentary on the demand for World Cup tickets. The Messi game in SLC was crazy. Millennials aren't scumbags. I don't mean like scumbag doesn't mean like okay. It's a term. It's not a
those refunds.
It's not a term of if I have to explain it, I probably did bad. We just want to see the whole system burn down so we can build something else. Also, cut us some slack. Our parents are asshole boomers. Wait, so I'm not an asshole boomer. I mean,
I mean, some millennials have asshole boomer parents. Yeah, it just depends.
You guys just don't. The problem is, I feel like we created a generation of soft men with millennials. That's what I feel like. Like when it gets difficult, and I don't know how we're so far off the rails, but it is what it is. When it gets difficult, and this is what does Joe Rogan always say? Soft times create soft men. Hard times create hard men. Like hard men create good times, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
We as Gen X parents gave you too much, made it too easy, gave you cell phones, gave you cars, gave you travel ball, didn't make you go to college. Like, we didn't set you up to succeed. We didn't, in my opinion, as a parent of a millennial, I did not set you up with the necessary tools to thrive and succeed as an adult in hard times. If everything had been equal and the economy had kept booming and jobs had kept booming, and millennials would have been fine. It never works like that. We're in the down cycle now, right? Everything's super expensive. Housing's broken still. Like, we're going on a decade of just incredibly dysfunctional real estate, all of it. The problem is millennials have to dig themselves out, and they're not equipped to do that. Almost by no fault of their own. But, you know, not wrong. Most people in general are snowflakes. As a man of color who is also bisexual, no one cares. Work harder. Well, work harder. Because honest to God, nobody gives a shit about your problems. Nobody cares, bro. Right? Like, nobody cares about our problems.
Come on, dude.
Work harder. Figure it out. Like, just keep going. You know, and it's hard when you find yourself in a position where it's maybe your job isn't what you wanted it to be. You don't like your boss. And work generally is, I think work is the great revealer of people's character. I think when you get into a job and you don't want to work hard because it's not easy and you're not willing to do the hard part, I think it's incredibly revealing of your character. And I think millennials really struggle to want to fight through the hard times because we as Gen Z parents made it so easy. And I'm not being sarcastic about that. I'm being as real as I can be. We were, what is the terminology? We were helicopter parents, or we made it, like, whatever you want to call it. I was watching Mel Robbins' podcast the other week.
If you've never heard of Mel Robbins, you don't know who she is, you should absolutely check it out. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, so I was watching Mel Robbins' podcast the other week, and she was talking about how you just have to understand the greatest part about human beings is their flaws. And our flaws are what power our bad decisions. And so I've been on this rant for the better part of a year. Make decisions and deal with the consequences. You're not going to make good decisions. You're just not. You'll make some good decisions. Millennials make bad decisions all the time, almost all the time. I'm a huge believer in it because they're not equipped to make good decisions. And I think when you look at what we as Gen Z parents did, we did that. We handed y'all easy buttons, and now that's all you guys want. Right? You want that pacifier of an easy button, and that doesn't exist right now. That does not. In this country, we are in a place and a time where, fuck, man, everything is difficult. Every decision we make, every gallon of gas, dude, you know how expensive food is right now? But it's incredible. Like, do you understand? We're in a time in this country right now where we're telling people you need to get educated. But here's the thing. It's really expensive to get educated. Oh, but here's a loan. Now that you've signed the loan papers, I just want you to know you're so fucked because that loan is really expensive. And if you miss even one penny of a payment, we're going to take everything you own. Do you understand that that's where we are in this country right now? We're telling people you have to get educated. You can't afford it, so go into debt. And if you miss a single penny of a payment, we're going to take everything you own. We're going to burn you to the ground. That's how we're starting people's lives off for them. So instead now of making everything way too easy, now we've gone the exact opposite. And you can't afford a car, you can't afford a house, you can't afford to rent an apartment, you can't afford to feed yourself, and your white in-laws that are very old hate you because you're gay and you're black. Okay. Pretty much sums up the show today, guys. All right. We'll talk to you later, right?
You suck.
Is this not a kaleidoscope of America on this show right now? Right? Good times, soft men. Hard times, strong men. Good time. Yes. Yes. Gen X helicopter parenting due to being latchkey kid didn't help either. Truth. Kids were never allowed to have hard times. We made a huge mistake in that. Hell, Jake never had a job. Well, how old were you when you got your first job?
In high
20?
school. No, I was in high school. Just after high school, after I graduated.
So you weren't in high school?
Yeah, just after I graduated. Yeah, just after I graduated.
So 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Mistake. I'm 40 and my medic partner tend to be early 20s and they're all soft. Constructive criticism is considered bullying now. And Jake and I deal with this all the time. Millennials, Mel Robbins talked about this as well. Millennials don't want to ask for advice. And why don't they want to ask for advice? Because they don't want the truth. What millennials want is, hey, I'm about to drive my car off this cliff. It's full of explosives and stuff. There's a rocky bottom there. Do you think will I make it? I'll survive, right? I mean, do you think I should drive my car off this cliff? No, I don't think so. Oh, well, you know what? You're just trying to hold me back. That's what it is. And Jake and I deal with this. Jake does not want my advice. Jake wants a pat on the back, but that's what the world's become. Right? The problem is, as parents, I'm 53. I've made huge mistakes in my life. I should be able to say, you probably want to do that in the toilet and not on the floor. And you'll still go on the floor and be like, why didn't you tell me to do it? make decisions. And this is what I say now, make decisions and deal with the consequences of those decisions. That's how you live life, right? Like Gen X is a fabulous generation. There's a lot of greatness about Gen X. Parenting is not one of our strong suits. I have a ton of Gen X friends. And a lot of us have the same problem with our kids. It is what it is. James Lugansland. Hello, James. Monty, I would argue it's more Gen Z than millennials that are soft. Oh, I think here's how I would describe, and maybe it's just me. Generationally, Gen Z versus millennials, very interesting. I don't think Gen Z, oh man, that's so tough. I think Gen Z is living in a world that is just everything's against them. When you're in your teens and 20s, you need support. Because you're going to have sex with the wrong people. You're probably going to ingest some things that, it's going to do some stuff. It's going to make you feel a certain types of way. You're going to say things. You're going to say, think about what a Gen Zer is exposed to. Sex, drugs, pornography, really bad news. Gen Zers should never turn on the TV. Just don't do it. Don't watch the news. You don't. But don't watch the news. Your sports are broken. You and your girlfriend are incredibly dysfunctional. And again, what do Gen Zs and millennial have in common? You can't afford a house. You can't afford rent. You're having trouble making money. You can't eat. You can't afford gas. And man, you don't want to buy a car right now.
Yeah, but we're soft. We're terrible. So
no.
Yeah.
You can't. That's what you can't do.
Uh-huh.
You can't be defensive.
I'm not being defensive. I'm just saying I think it's a juxtaposition. It's
not. It's really reality. It's real. Like I grew up, and I've talked about this on the show. I did not have, from the time I turned 16 to today, I haven't had family support of my own. My in-laws are great. Like my wife's great. I don't have like parents, brothers, and sisters who are like, yeah, here, like I was homeless for a day. Did anybody say, hey, come sleep on my couch? Nope. Like I didn't have support growing up. I made terrible decisions. Fuck, bro. I had a child when I was 21 years old. Who are we kidding? 20 years old. Was I making good decisions? No. No, I was not. I job hopped a lot in my 20s. Now I worked in radio and did I always make good decisions? No. Didn't own my first house until I was in my 40s. Right? Like I didn't always make the good decisions, but you know what I got fortunate with? I understood that I needed a partner that was really strong. I needed a partner that was the best of my worst and vice versa. Like you look at, I was reading an article that I almost sent to Jake the other day, and I was really, you guys, I was proud of myself. I was proud of myself. I didn't thumb Jake in the brown eye with this article about dating and relationships for millennials because it's not good. The codependency amongst millennials is incredible. But my point is, what has made me the husband, father, friend that I am today is my relationship with my wife. There is nothing that I protect more than my relationship with my wife. Why am I not playing golf tomorrow night? Because we were going to go play golf. I canceled golf. You know what I did? I made us a dinner reservation instead. One, it's cheaper. And two, that more fills the soul cup for my wife than playing golf on a Friday night does. There's nothing I protect more than my relationship with my wife. Because I don't know a life. I've been married for 25 years. I don't know a life without my wife in it. And that's one of the main things. So when we talk about the reality of of our world, you better pick the right dance partner. Because if you don't pick the right dance partner, good luck, dude. Marcus said, sitting here with my son, he says you're stupid. And all you're doing is preaching to young people. This is the problem with America. It's the old folks preaching to the young people. Am I preaching at young people? If that's how you take it, maybe that's a perspective issue.
I would say it is.
Because I don't think I'm sitting here preaching at anybody. I'm telling you, the person that you pick in this life will make or break your life. The decisions you and that person make and your ability to deal with the consequences of those decisions will make or break your life. It's as simple as I can make it. Because we as parents, I don't misunderstand me, because Marcus is asking me, hey, do you really think you were a bad parent? I'm not saying I was a bad parent. I don't think I was a bad parent. I think I set a really strong relationship example. I think I set an example of trying to go and do things, and you're not always going to succeed, but I think what I did is I gave my child too much too early. Too many phones, too many Jordans, too many baseball gloves, too many go work at Taco Bell all summer. Because I will tell you, as much as I joke, I worked at Taco Bell, I think, for 3 days. Round Lake Beach, Illinois, summer of 1990, I think. For one reason, I was chasing a girl. But dude, working at Taco Bell that summer for those 3 days taught me more about how much jobs suck than anything else. You can't have everything handed to you and think we're setting you up, because we're not. Millennials are all about ad hominem. What do you mean? It is a perspective issue. Jake, is it a perspective issue?
I mean, it's impossible for us not to have different perspectives, right? I mean, that's just the nature of life. Like, that's the nature of me being born, 20 years or whatever, 30 years behind you or whatever it is. So, I mean, I think that's just, of course, there's going to be different perspectives. I think that, yeah, I would agree that we're in the down portion of the cycle. I think that there's a part of the conversation where, like, yeah, sure, if you could go back, would you change some things about what you did with me? Sure. I'm sure you would. At the same time, it's
the
not
only
like
the only thing I would change, I'd make you have a job every summer in high school, and I would have made you go to college. Because I think one of the things that is really important is we have to give our young people basic skills. We have to give our young people basic skills. Learn to read, learn to write, learn to think business-wise. That's the only thing I would change. If I could go back, would I still buy you Under Armour cleats twice a year, every year? Yes. Would I make sure that you had, Jake was a baseball player, would I make sure you had the nicest glove? Yes. And I always did, right? Probably much to the death, but I wouldn't change that. I would make you learn how to make money much earlier in your life, because I think it is a skill. But there you go.
Yeah, I think it's a skill too. And I also think that there's a part of it where I think that I think that we disagree sometimes on, like, how well or not well my generation's doing or not doing, or how well we're doing with the adversity that we have in front of us, and the skills that we're learning or not learning, or picking up or not picking up. Like, I think that yeah. So to answer the question, yeah, I think there is definitely, I wouldn't call perspective an issue. I think saying it's an issue, that's not really the word that I would use. I would just say it's a difference in perspective. It's the difference between being, in a advantageous financial position when a pandemic hits, versus being 7 to 10 years behind that and having to work through that, and being set back a little bit and having to figure out how to remake up that ground. And, like, I just think it's just, there's just a difference in it. And I think that one of the best things that you can do is you don't know like talk about something other than how millennials are in debt and everyone thinks that they're doing horribly. Like, I don't think that we're doing horribly. I just think that we're in debt. We're in the low point of the cycle. Like, we're grinding right now. And every generation has had to do that at some point in their life. Like, that's part of life. Is you're going to have that decade where the economy sucks, the president, don't care what you think of him, is not helping your average day American right now. Like, the numbers say that. That's not my opinion. You have a bunch of stuff that is adversity right now. So we're grinding right now. But that doesn't mean that none of us or any of us haven't picked up skills and are doing everything that we can do. I do agree that there are a lot of people. I see it every day in our work. I see it all the time on social media. There are plenty of millennials out there, and I think this is some of Gen Z too, who are just unwilling to say, you know what? Yeah, I have some debt. I didn't go to college. Like, that, but that doesn't mean I have handcuffs on and I can't go out and make money. Like, you have everything you need in your smartphone to learn skills and go out and make money. Like, that's just the truth of it. So but they don't. And that's the difference between me and soft ass millennial who's unwilling to go out and try to change their situation. Like, I've self-taught myself things. I have skills that I can leverage to go out and make more money and do things and improve my situation. And I'm working on those things literally every day. So I think that millennials there is a sector of the millennial generation that, yes, wants it handed to them and is unwilling to work. But I've always disagreed that should define us as a generation. I think that there are a lot of people who are working their ass off and are actually pushing to get to a better spot.
Millennials have to get off the couch.
Yeah.
Millennials have to vote. Millennials have to open businesses. Millennials have to buy houses.
Yeah, the voting thing might be the best point. I have one of my longest friends in the world doesn't believe in voting because of the whole my vote doesn't count or impact, and I just think it's that type of mentality where I'm like, dude, how do you not vote? How do you not how do you look at your own picture and say, you know what, like, dude, I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z, and that requires this, and I'm just not willing to do what it takes. Like, I can't operate in that way. I can't. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'll never understand it, bro. I don't agree with making them go to college. Some people just aren't meant for college, and some people aren't ready for college until they're ready. I think, and when I say, because I said one of the things I would have made Jake go to college, a junior college for 2 years, because I just see things differently in that I think we need to, our kids should be taking finance classes. Our kids should be taking core writing, English, mathematics that teaches you how to balance a checkbook. Now that turns into how to use your mobile phone to track your finances, how to lock your credit report and why you need to lock your credit report and unlock your credit report, how to follow your rates on credit cards or debt, or how to stay out of debt, how to use credit cards without. We don't teach our kids any of that. We don't teach our kids the value of $1. And I think that's what basic skills do. Because the first time you ever make a fuckload of money, it changes you. And there's a lot of people who never make that. The first time you get a $15, $20, $25, $30,000 paycheck, it changes you. It truly changes your perspective on life. Yeah. Cougs Johnson. Hello, Cougs. Well, I don't agree with Monty on the Pac-12. His life advice is spot on. I appreciate that. Chuck. What's up, Chuck? Good to see you. My mom had me working at 10, $5 to mow the yard, blew it within an hour of getting it on baseball cards. Truth. My baseball cards were wiffle ball bats and balls at the dime store in downtown Northbrook, Illinois. College is not the way. I don't think 4-year college where you take a huge loan out is the way. I would agree with that. Scott, Monty, you look great. Weight loss was a must. Congrats. Thank you. I'm 1 pound from my original goal weight. Thank you to the cherries. 1 pound from my original goal weight.
Do you think you'll keep going, or do you think you'll level off?
Oh, I'll keep going. I have a lot more I want to lose. I'm fat. It's the scourge of weight loss. I've lost 90 pounds on the dot. And I have terrible body image. It's brutal. College is the way, but it needs to be valuable skill or trade, not just any degree, just to get a degree. I agree. As a senior in high school, I worked full weeks at nursing homes as a CNA. Go in early morning, go to school afternoon, go back in the evening. It teaches you something, man. The ironic part is perspective being the issue is the issue. Issue doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or good. Correct. It depends on the context in which it's being used and the subject matter. Yes. I think the kids today have had the easy button and are not prepared for hard times. That's the way hard times is worse. That way, the hard time is worse because they aren't used to the adversity. Truth. Chad Carter. I think you're talking to a different section of millennials, my guy. Could be. I don't think anybody is everybody. I think we're all unique, but there is no question that, again, Gen Xers were latchkey kids. Millennials, where we didn't have parents at home. We had a house key around our neck and we went home and played video games and ate Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
And threw M80s down sewer drains. And we were latchkey kids, right?
Yeah.
Divorce was a major problem in our generation. Like every generation has their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry about what that thing is for millennials and Gen Zers. That's what I worry about. Yep. I agree with Jake. Not all of us are in that give me mindset. A lot do, but not all of us are anything. I agree with that. Millennials are not a monolith. No, I would agree with that. Jake needs to work on his window blinds. The sun on his face when he talks, he must be getting annoyed.
Yeah, it's the orientation of this place that I stay in is particularly set up to where this time of year when the sun is up earlier, even with the blinds down, there's the section of the blind where like the cloth goes through it and that little line of holes still lets the sun through, which does drive me nuts, but whatever.
This is so true. I hate people who won't vote and then bitch and moan about rights and statuses.
Yeah,
and
if you're not going to vote, then you shouldn't be complaining, dude. Like you're just like, I don't know what you're doing.
People need to vote more, but they also need to vote a hell of a lot smarter. Truth. Do your homework. Do your homework. And please vote in your local election. Vote in your town halls. Vote for your mayors and your council people and your school board people. Vote for them. No one group is a monolith. At the end of the day, everyone is an individual in their own choices and perspectives. Agree. Decision-making defines your life, dude. And then we have people who vote and then don't hold their own side accountable because suddenly what was bad as good when it sucked for other persons. Yeah. For thee, not for me, right? Call me radical, but I actually think those are rights that should be taught to juniors and seniors in high school. Truth. Oh, well, then there's AI. Yeah. You better learn AI, man, because it ain't going anywhere. I'll tell you that right now. Especially with social media today, making it easier for kids to start making money earlier. Yes. Did you see the former Google CEO during commencement address at Arizona got booed talking about AI? People know AI is going to screw up their future career possibly. Yeah. You better learn it, man. You better learn it. Claude Code is the next wave, and it's out there. Yes. Kids need to stop the Starbucks and other daily life sucking activities like social media, Netflix, and Judge Judy. What is sucking people's time? That's scrolling. Man.
Oh, no question about it. No,
I don't even know if my wife realizes this. She may or may not. Since we got back from Hawaii the last 2 weeks, I have really tried to be off my phone. I started in Hawaii and I am trying to carry it over. Dude, I'm sleeping so much better by not death scrolling on my phone at night. It's wild.
Yes.
It is. It's absolutely wild. And I never have trouble falling asleep. But when I don't get on my phone before I go to bed, if I The minute I step into my boudoir, that's bedroom. If I just put the phone on the charger and I sleep straight through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. Education's definitely in a way, but means and themes in which you get that education's up to you. Yeah. It's just money. It's made up pieces of paper with pictures on it. So we don't kill each other just to get something to eat.
It's a hell of a movie, dude. It's a hell of a movie.
That's an interesting conversation. They need to teach kids in high school on economic taxes and retirement. I'm a tax preparer, and the youth just don't get it when it comes to life. But they will get it. You know. Screw GLP-1s. We should be using the Monty Cherry method. Please don't.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this.
The Monty Cherry method's a little rough, you know? Like, it's not as enjoyable or easy.
And if you missed the show yesterday, I had a revelation.
A discovery moment.
The revelation was that cherries are a natural diuretic.
Oh.
Figured that out yesterday while sitting on the can. But yeah, GLP-1's been great. The interesting part is so many people, when I do like a TikTok or a short, I'm going to do a short on it today so you guys will see it. But you don't understand. You just don't understand the impact that being overweight has on your life. It's incredible. Trying to be like even a better golfer, a better husband, being lighter, walking around the globe without as much weight on makes a huge difference. It's incredible. It's hard to even describe. Brandon, what's the easy button, dude? Tell me, educate me. Okay. I'm here for a fight today. Monty, you're describing a lot of millennials as you describe Gen X as well. Could be. Just different set of circumstances, right? Parents also need to take ownership of their kids. They do. And responsibility for it. Jake needs to talk to Jerry about the curtains. Yeah, he does. You know. Yeah. Just get some blackout curtains. It'll take the sun right off your face.
Yeah, just get you a better head coach. It'll make you a better football team.
We all do. Gen Z are not getting into relationships, which means divorce won't be the problem. Look at how much dating has changed.
Yeah.
So many people won't make the effort to find the right life partner. It's crazy. You know, facts. I voted for Trump, yet I am just as critical to him as I am of any other politician. Got to be held accountable for that. And most don't vote in primaries. That is where votes matter even more because it could prevent undesirable political politicians from winning. Yeah. Primaries are hugely important. You know, I can stop Starbucks and Netflix, but not the Monty Show. Exactly right. I had cherry bombs watching the NBA last night. God, I hate OKC. Am I the only one? Am I the only one? I hope they never win another game. I cannot stand watching them play ball.
Yeah, let me say it this way, because I think it kind of puts some weight on the conversation. My disdain for SGA and his antics on the floor and how they play the game is at such a level that I find myself rooting for VW when they play the Thunder. I find myself saying, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm not a VW guy. I'm not a fan. But man, when he's playing the Thunder, yes, please end them. Like, do it. Like, dominate them. Prove a point. Like, go out and earn your MVP with the people, you know, because he won that MVP again. Like, it really bothers me that SGA and guys like him who play that way have ruined the integrity of the NBA game, in my opinion. It's terrible.
It's horrendous. And nobody will
brutal.
Nobody will do anything about it. And I think there should be a stiff penalty for it.
Yeah.
A stiff penalty for flopping in this because it's not just SGA now. Their entire roster is on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
SGA is on the floor quite literally every play. And the phantom calls that went against the Spurs last night cost them the game. And the NBA doesn't want to talk about it. They don't. Yes, I've been waiting for this. My wife is excited about the Canadiens tonight.
Yeah.
She actually said to me, they play tomorrow. I think she was only half kidding, but she's like, go Abs. Like she's actually excited for the Hurricanes Canadiens tonight. Like it is. We're going to watch that game. I get the thing of telling people to learn AI, but that's not necessarily the solve people think it is, because AI removes 30% or more jobs. Knowing it doesn't mean you have a job for sure. I think you have to learn how to apply AI to your situation in your life. My wife's a great example of it. My wife's not highly trained on AI. Oh, wait, she is, because she highly trained herself, and now she's got job security because of it. You have to learn how to implement AI into your world. I cannot tell you how much more efficient I am in my regular job, this show, social media, golf, because of AI. I use ChatGPT quite literally now for everything. It makes my life so much easier. Could not for the life of me remember the cooking temperature of a turkey burger at lunch yesterday. ChatGPT. I need SEO for my show today. ChatGPT. Hey, write me a cover letter for this job. ChatGPT. Like, it's not difficult, man. Like, you need to learn how to use it. Damn, Jake was on that one. Yeah, you know. Oh, look, TJ back 2 days in a row. Jake, ladies is a stud. She is successful. Jake's lady is a stud. She is successful with an amazing athlete. And I would have to say, way to pick a good one, Jake.
Thanks, TJ.
There you go. Is it really the Thunder, or is it just whoever is the best player in the league at the moment you hate? No, it's the Thunder.
No, it's the Thunder, because SGA is not the best player in the league at all.
It's pervasive on the Thunder roster.
Yeah.
It is pervasive. Zuckerberg and me track their employee keystrokes to help train their AI, and then fired 10,000 of them because of AI efficiency. Could be.
Yes, I think that takes place in corporate America, dude. But at the same time, you also have to have a willingness to go out and put yourself in a position that's immune to being laid off in the corporate world, and that can be being in a position that AI can't replicate. That could be having your own business. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. But if you think that if you're Bob in accounting, yeah, you might want to start working on another skill, because AI is coming for those skills that like data entry. AI is coming for that, dude. It's happening. Like there's a lot of jobs where that'll take place, but AI can also be your best friend. It can also be the thing that makes you thousands of dollars a month, helps you be more efficient in the day-to-day, and helps you grow your business. So I just think it's, again, people look at AI as we humanize AI, but the reality is it's a tool just like anything else has ever been. And you're either going to hop on board and learn that tool, or you're not. You're going to get left behind.
Totally agree. And you do have to learn how to ask the prompts to ask AI.
Yes.
I use it for my e-commerce stuff, and it makes a huge. Do you know how much money ChatGPT saves me on e-commerce, like on my Amazon store? Like this, I'm about to launch a new product on Amazon. The photos that I'll create for that will all be in ChatGPT. I'm going to give it a photo on a white background. It's going to put it in X, Y, and Z positions, much like, nudes. But anyway, the point is,
come on, dude.
It'll save me between $800 and $1,200 on Photo Suite, because I don't have to send it to somebody else who's going to it'll make me infographics.
Correct.
PCA should change his name to PC AAA, playing like hot ass, and he's still better than Kyle Tucker. All of Canada's Stanley Cup hopes are with Montreal. Yeah, and that's not high hopes. Is Wemby better this year? Maybe he should do another summer with the
I mean, I think he's better this year. Yeah,
I think he's better this
improving.
year. He's
Yeah.
not durable yet. And you can still get him if you put little dudes in his feet, you can still get him.
Yeah.
So, but he is better this year, and he should go with the Monks. ChatGPT still can't spell strawberry. Is that right? I don't know. I don't know what that's a reference to. Ryan, headed to the Byron Nelson this weekend. I would pay to watch Monty play on 100 cherries before having to watch this spare field. Brooks Koepka's at the Byron Nelson. Dude. Yeah. All I want to do is play golf. I have not been to the range. I haven't hit a golf ball since I think Sunday, maybe Saturday, and it's brutal. I don't have high hopes for this weekend because I just have not
we're
had
already
time.
headed into the round.
I'm going to try and go to the range tonight, but I don't have high hopes for my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, exactly. It's just a tool. If you're not going to teach yourself how to utilize that tool, that's on you. Yes. You have to learn how to put the prompts in. Luckily, I work in higher ed, and universities are usually one of the last entities to adopt technology. Exactly.
Facts, bro. That's facts, man.
And donuts. My daughter is an anomaly. She is in her master's program and is a top woman rally crosser in her race Evo on the West Coast.
That's cool, bro.
That's interesting. Millennials and Gen Zers are in debt and worthless degrees, keeping academics who got worthless degrees when they were young, gainfully employed. Well, I still don't understand the genealogy degree that Katie got. Right? If my kid came to me and said I want to go to college, I would be like vocational, finance, or law. Those would be the three I push. You want to be a plumber? You want to learn electrician? You want to go learn a vocation? Go learn a trade.
Pay that man his money.
People are always going to eat cherries, so they need somebody to unstock the sewer drain, right?
Yep.
When you break that sewer pipe, hey, man, buy a hydrojet rig. Go good. I was looking at something the other day that said still the number one business startup for teenagers is power washing.
Yes.
I've never thought to start a power washing business.
Dude, you know why? Because it's simple. It's easy. It's work in the sense it's hard work, but the business of it is easy. Like $400 or $500 a house, 5 of those houses a day, 22 days a month, you're rolling.
Yeah. And I say more power to you. Played a great course on Lake Erie last weekend, shot an 88. Nice.
Nice, dude. That's a good round.
There was that video going around last week about what makes a good golfer. What do you have to shoot to be considered a good golfer?
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I think it's anything under 90.
Yeah.
I routinely shoot in the 80s. My best right now is middle 70s.
Yeah, I think anything under 90, you're a serviceable, I can enjoy golfing with you golfer, right? I mean, if you're 90 plus, that just means that one portion of your game is just awful, that you can't like a lot of people are good with their driver, let's say in their irons, but they can't chip. And so they wind up hitting 3, 4, 5 chips just to get on, which obviously racks up a bunch of strokes on their card.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, I would to shoot in the 80s regularly. You can still 3-putt. Trust me, I know. But you have to be good from the tee, and you have to be good with your approach shots. And that's where it is. So
off the tee and within 100 yards. I'm telling you, we can get into a discussion about the second shot, but I'm telling you, off the tee and inside 100 is critical.
Yeah.
I saved so many strokes because I have made myself a much better short game player.
And I just think decision making overall, right? I mean, whether it is whether it is what kind of chip to hit, whether you're talking about how hard to swing, or again, there are so many times you asked me earlier in the show, like, hey, would you rather play with randoms or by yourself? When I do play with randoms, there's so many times where I'm like, dude, there's a hole on the course that I play all the time that's a short par 4. I think it's like 390 or whatever. It's a really short par 4. You can easily hit just an iron off the tee and have a nice little 140-yard shot in, no problem. but people want to hit driver there and be like 30 yards away from the green. And it's like, yeah, but you hit it off into the yonder to the right, and now you're making a 7 when you should have made a 4. Like that's the problem in golf, man. The decision making typically just isn't good enough to keep you in the 80s.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think if you regularly shoot 80s, you're good.
On a 390 par 4, give me a 5 wood.
Yeah. Like
give me a 250-yard 5 wood. We're gonna knock that down all day.
What could you score if you were in the fairway on every hole? That's what I always tell people. Hey, if you break the game of golf down like that, if you're in the fairway off the tee each and every time, what does that do to your scorecard? Like, that obviously puts you in a better position.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, AI is bad. We have many movies showing this. Plus, Will Smith warned us about robots. Robots are going to eat everybody.
Your third leg was just phenomenal.
Go to a community college, start an oil company, and become a billionaire. Then spend $5 million on a QB who is betting on a hot dog eating contest.
Pay that man his money.
That
like
Ryan Duffy is well done, dude.
James says, I'm a chemist, college professor, and I am a millennial. Not all millennials are going for worthless degrees. No, not all millennials are doing anything.
Yeah.
It's a majority of. Monty, don't forget to stretch out properly before the range. I'm still recovering from walking 18 from last Saturday. Yeah. I'm old. I you know what the nice thing about playing golf in Hawaii was? Dude, it was so easy to get loose.
Yeah.
It was so easy to get loose. And just, I'm telling you. There are ASMR YouTube channels that get tens of thousands of views watching power washing. I'll never understand it. Nick D says, I'll say anything from 75 to 95 is a good golfer. Now, I think if you're 90 to 100, you're hitting and hoping a lot.
Yeah. 90 to 100, you're not you can be enjoyable to play with if you're shooting that, but you're not a good golfer if you're 90 plus. You need to be, I would say good golf range is 75 to 85. For me, like if I'm over 85, that means I had a couple of really clunker holes. Like I had a couple of 7s on the card that I just had a really rough time getting to the green. So that's why I say like, I'm not someone who regularly shoots in the 70s at all. But I regularly I'll shoot like 82 to 84, and that's typically a good day. And a lot of those are like 3 putts on the green. I'm just not a great putter. So I mean, again, if you take the putter out of it, yeah, I'm probably a high 70s player that kills myself on the green constantly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, YouTube channels where YouTubers will power wash or cut lawns for free because they get paid by the numbers of views while still helping someone. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I've seen that. Yeah. Is what it is. Your third leg. Haha. That's a good show. Honestly, I'm telling you, your third leg was amazing.
Your third leg was just phenomenal.
Amazing. Monty, I've been mentoring a bunch of Gen Z young men, and when I ask them their goals, it's usually to be rich and famous.
Wow.
How many, dude, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fireman. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. Then I wanted to be on the radio. How many 10-year-olds have a dream? How many 16-year-olds have a dream? I want to do lashes and brows is not a dream. Right? Like how many, like I just don't think people, it's just a different world now. It's just a different world, you know? I love this show. It's refreshing to talk about both sports and life stuff in fun, relaxed, safe spaces. I appreciate that, man. We try. ASMR, can we get a channel of Monty eating cherries? Dude.
No.
Instant commercial deals with Charmin, Pepto-Bismol, and Imodium. Never making that mistake again. Anything over plus 10 is a bad round. 5 aside is plenty. Yeah, I'm trying. I make so many stupid decisions on the golf course. That's why my scores have been better lately. I'm not making stupid decisions. I'm playing to the middle of most greens. You can't believe how many shots I save by just playing to the middle.
Yeah, you just play the big part of the green and you 2-putt, and it just saves you so many shots.
And I putt very well. That's a huge advantage for me. But I'm, and this is getting into the weeds. The golf ball matters. The golf ball matters. I played only TaylorMades in Hawaii. The golf ball matters. I can control a TaylorMade golf ball way better than. And again, I'm a big proponent. If you're shooting in the 80s and 90s, go get noodles.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have control off the tee, play noodles. But I am telling you, when you learn how to control your driver, you need a better golf ball, because the spin that I'm able to put on a TaylorMade, it's crazy. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, you too, my friend. No cherry eating on this show, and never again. I will never do it again.
Yeah, it was an enlightening moment, and we'll keep that in moderation now.
That's it. I'm
we'll
not
keep that in moderation.
Dude, I cannot tell you how terrible it was. And I'm glad it's over. It's a quick death. Right? It was an hour or two. But again, I went on a heater of eating cherries, like raw cherries. They're plentiful here in Washington. I went down the Pike Marketplace the other day, got a brown bag, 1 pound of cherries in it, crushed it in 3 days, and it crushed me for 3 days. Yesterday was the coup de grace. I honestly, during the show, could not control it. I think I got up 3 times, and the third time I was like, dude, I went and sat there and emptied out my soul, and then it's done.
Hey, look here, man.
I haven't eaten any cherries for 36 or 24, 36 hours now. What do you know? My colon is not vomiting all over me. And then the best part is, it's not like food poisoning. I had a wonderful lunch yesterday. I had two turkey burger patties and a bag of frozen vegetables. Chopped up a avocado. Bro, so good.
Yeah.
So good. It was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
All right. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. The Advocates remind you, dudes, it's Memorial Day weekend. Please don't drink and drive. I understand we all have 3-day weekends, and please don't drink and drive. I'm begging you. If you're going to drink, please do not drive. Drink at home. Drink when you get home. Please do not drink. And please do not drive. Be safe this weekend. Let's all reconvene on Tuesday. Well rested. Great drives off the tee. Let's not be crazy. If the worst happens this weekend, the Advocates are ready to serve you 24/7, 365. Clear, risk-free advice is available to you. Slow down. Take it easy. Have a great, restful weekend. Until Tuesday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.